You have gnosis as you enter into this place. It's a wall where we come in through a portal, and there's gnosis is required. This is like the gnosis virtual library that we've entered in. A safe place for the knowers. No shoulder to look back on to see who's watching or following and paying attention to you, right? Or spying on you, even though where this is released on the platform, oh, they can spy and look all they want. And you know that. As we've hit some episodes, the last episodes of this, we dealt with Whitney Webb. We went into the depth of the breaking down of the illusion inversion reality that we live in, how it works, how it creates, how it becomes the norm, right? And how it becomes accepted, and how it's connected to the simulation, to breaking down of They Live, and how this is all connected. How even the entertainment, right, system, the entertainment system, that somehow has a very hold on Western reality and the time we lived in. It's been going on for a long time, having reel-to-reel movie motion pictures. Take that in and look at what I just said with motion pictures. Motion pictures. Pictures usually don't have motion. But you put it on a reel, does it become real? Or is it a real fake illusion of real that continues over and over in a simulation, even crossing over other realities, stacked on realities that are now integrated in another reality because it's absorbed by another reality because the veil is so thin that now you see that everything's even connected to everything amongst the separate, because it's all programs. Ooh. I was going to even add another song. We got some songs to break down today. Yeah, I got 2 songs I'm going to share. 2 songs that I was raised on, absolutely adored, because it was my time in my music as a teen and a youngster, and being raised by the older people that I was raised with uncles, especially in this case it would be an Uncle Jack, who was only 8 years older than me, baptizing me into rock from the late 60s and 70s. Mom a little bit. As a little boy, and I'm going to junior high, she has a record player on after I eat breakfast and on, and getting ready, combing their hair. And I'm listening to The Doors, Janis Joplin, Jimi Hendrix. Talk about getting baptized as a young boy and going to school after listening to this. My mom played in the morning. Creedence Clearwater, and a few others that I'm trying to catch at this time that I remember. Notice I think about it now, it was very much all American with that group that just mentioned Americans, not so much the British invasion. Now I think about it, that just hit me. I just kind of started thinking that. But anyways, but the same be true that this is what I kind of was put in. And now I'm looking at the words. I was going to add a 3rd song, but I got another song that really hit me because I kind of forgot about them. If you know my past and past videos I share, how by 19 my life had changed. And I no longer listened to this because I became very religious. And to a state that you couldn't be of the world, so you quit listening to main worldly music. Put it that way at that time. Very much a very hardcore church with rules, and saying this was of the world and you didn't participate in it. And it did change my mind because I did get me off a life path that I was going there that wasn't really advantageous for me. If I kept going, who knows what it came out of that, because some of the people that were my friends went paths I never went, and and 3 of them are dead, and one is still alive that we just reconnected after many years. And I'm having to really balance my gnosis from telling he's getting a little open, but not ready for me to tell him the truth yet, especially politically. But to stop there, stop right and there with this story. But entertainment, right? The word entertainment. Let me do something. See if it pops up on my E or my etymology. It's the word entertainment, because the word entertainment is kind of, when I think about it, it does pop up from the 1500s. Okay. Very interesting when I read it, what it means. It definitely has some stuff in it that would make you go, things that make you go, Didn't that make you go was from back in the 80s with, he had a late night show, and I can see him, and I can't remember his name. Gosh darn, Danny, your age is catching up to you sometimes. A little bit of senilism or forgetfulness. I do got gnosis, though. I did bring that. Can see him, mustache. He was in movies, hung a little bit with Eddie. It will come to me. He would in the show, though, one of his main clicks, or what do we call it? Styx. And I'm not talking about Styx the band, because we will do the song from Styx, Grand Illusion. Not today, though. Because that hits home in a very positive acknowledgement way, as Grand Illusion does. Because I'm going to tell you, we're going to look at California. I got another lens to look at California. And this song, which I loved the solo, loved the rhythm, loved the Eagles. But this is not a positive song, Hotel California, when we break it down today. It's a truth-telling reality, and I'm going to even correlate it to today. We're going to get into it. Now, Pink Floyd's Another Brick in the Wall. It's telling you something you ought to know. And this was from 1980. That was beneficial. They were telling you something you ought to know. Oh, yeah. A little bit of warning in Pink Floyd's song. That was a positive warning if you grasp it. Who grasped it in the 80s, I'm not sure. Many people after grasped it. Watch this word, though. Entertainment. I'm not going to share this on the screen today. I could, but I'm just going to read it. This is from etymology. Provision for support of a retainer, a manner of a social behavior now obsolete, along with senses from entertainment, meaning the amusement of someone is from the sense of which entertains, that of a public performance, a display, a meant to amuse. We use the word amuse, but what is amuse? Because see, there's a double paradoxy, actually opposite of amuse and being amuse, right? Maybe a word we need to get into. Watch this. Entertain, to keep, maintain, to keep someone in a certain frame of mind. Ooh, how about the frame of mind of being programmed? Oh, that step on your foot? Or are we seeing something? We just are taking the veil, which is like a curtain, of that which is behind the curtain, and just opening and saying, look at all the magic, which is not magic. It's the illusionist just playing an illusion game, because they will tell you hands quicker than the eye, but our eye caught up and surpassed it, because we're seeing past the veil, or we just grab the curtains and put that son of a gun back because it's thin, the veil. Think about that. To a certain frame. Ment, originally French, right, is mental, connected to mental. The last also illustrates a habit of turning to. It stems from ment, is normally apprehended, right? Infotainment is the word it used. Info to entertainment. Amusement, diversion of attention. There we go. Now we're seeing a little bit of the hijacking going on here in this place. Yeah. I love the saying that here. But anyways, let's break down these songs. We're 10 minutes in. let's go ahead and break these songs in. We're going to start with Another Brick in the Wall. We'll start with Pink Floyd's. The video of this even gets to me is really good, because the video is really into a place, because many at this time probably thought from the higher education this was not a good song. It was teaching you to be dumb, not grasping education, not wanting to mount to a hill of beans. I won't curse, I was going to say shit, but a hill of beans. But no, it's not. This song is deeper and runs circles around your educational system, because it's telling you what it really, really, really is. Now, I know that when I look at an education system, we went over the 1907 school board meeting, educational school board meeting, that you would become, under the Rockefeller Foundation, you would become nothing more than cattle or chattel. What is it? You go to school, ended up being, what do you go to school for? There's a degree you can even get at, like UC Davis, some of these schools that have that deal with farming, that actually have this, and there's actually a degree for it. But what if I told you, in the reality of it, you're the farm animals, animal husbandry is what it is in school. In the real world of the reality of the higher form of how this runs goes with the movie breakdown of what was noticed in They Live. It goes hand in hand with it. Is this song? If this song was in They Live, it would go hand in hand. Walk on, grab hands and hold hands and walk across. It would go perfectly. But look at this. So let's get in the words. Think about the educational system, 1907 school board meeting, and also from the Prussian system for control and programming when the Prussians lost the war and realized that the soldiers weren't obeying. The general was told by the king, we have to program them through a school system at a younger age so they are all followers and obedient. And this is what it is. So what's Pink Floyd's message within this? We don't need no education. We don't need no thought control. Just those two verses as we start are starting off with a flurry of elbow smashes. We don't need no education. We don't need thought control. It was telling you this was a mind control system from the very outlet. Pink Floyd's not playing games here. They're telling you the exact truth to a tilt. They're not playing games. They're coming in and trying to bust your nose and knock your teeth out. No darkness, sarcasm in the classroom. Teacher, here's a sign. Leave them kids alone. Immediately, he's telling a warning of a system, and he's saying, leave those children alone. We know what you do. And then now what do we all know that was being revealed? How the feelings and how the children are being used, and all the stuff that just came out by flourishes about the system and using children to send them, stealing children, all the trade on the market for even lungs, taking out their internal organs for a bunch of these old rich people, these elite rich people, so they can maintain it, and also the other diabolical stuff we've heard. And do I need to say, because the knowers know? He says, leave them alone is a warning. Hey, teacher, leave those kids alone again. So one, he tells the teacher twice in a row, leave them alone. All in all, it's just another brick in the wall, or a brick in the wall of a system that you created. This goes with another song of theirs, Welcome to the Machine. I see this song as telling you the truth and a warning. All in all, you're just another brick in their wall. They don't care. You're just part of the machine's wall. They don't care about you. You just need to follow suit. You can't think for yourself because we're not going to let you. We don't care about thinking. We're here to program you. Then it says it again. No need to education. No need for thought control. So it repeats the first two verses. No dark sarcasm in the classroom. Teachers, leave them kids alone. So we look at this part. It repeats that programming and the essence of what this school system is one out right away. It's going for the throat and the jugular of truth. It's not hiding or unveiling softly. It's telling you this is a system that needs to be dealt with, and even says we don't need your bullshit. We don't need your thought control, your mind control. Take that and shove it up your tail. And teachers, you ain't teaching shit. Leave them kids alone. You ain't bringing nothing. Hey, teacher, leave us kids alone. Now the kids are teaching. All in all, you're just another brick in the wall of the system. And all in all, I'm going to repeat it again. You're just another brick in the wall. You're just bringing a system of mass education for a programming system that we can easily follow and see when we look even today how this programming system with the school's educational system is failed. And we can see it now with the kids in school now, what the teachers are even saying that they can't teach these kids. Right? And then notice this, if you don't eat your meat, you can't have any pudding. How can you have any pudding if you don't eat your meat? If you don't eat your meat, yes, behind the bike stands, you can't have any pudding. How can you have pudding if you don't eat your meat? Stand still, laddie. Yes, behind the bike stands. So think about this. What it's telling you is out the door, outside, the eating the meat to get the pudding, which, think of puddings, the sweets. We even say the proofs in the pudding is you need to eat our system. That's the meat, laddie. And it repeats it over and over 3 times. And he says, now you even trying to leave the school, leaving your bike system, you need to have the program on the way out. You need to understand, laddie, behind the back system, you can't have any pudding. You have to follow these rules. You got to follow our order. We don't want no free thinking is what it's saying. You're going to eat the meat of our program. Oh, yeah. You want the pudding and the sweets? What you really want? You got to follow our direction. You're going to follow our lead. And you're going to be a follower. And then it says, stand still, meaning stand still, don't move. You follow my direction, laddie. You behind the bike stand. This is very aggressive in telling you the system. This is the machine. Pink Floyd has another song later called Welcome to the Machine, right? And Time. A bunch of their songs are telling you about the system and how corrupt and what it really is. This song is telling you, it's kicking the doors in. And then it even tells you the last part, when you get into you can't have any meat unless you can't have any pudding unless you have your meat. It's telling you the system is going to rile up. They're not going to give in to you. They'll put their freaking knee on your throat. Because it's a system, it's a machine. This is powerful. This is another song when you really understand it. It ain't Lovador and crispy critters and cuties and this. This is telling you the system. Pink Floyd and a lot of these were telling you what the system really is. This system is telling you they're after your children. This was 1980. And what do we know in the world found out? They've been after. We even know in some of these liberal states, they want to pass laws that messing with children underage is okay. We don't want to. They have the right to want younger children. It's their right to be attracted to young youth instead of calling it what we've always called it, the P word. They want that, right? I mean, just being honest. A lot of this stuff transformed that they were telling you the truth. It's kind of witnessed and seen now. We'll even go deeper. Or we're going to carry on. This is not really going deeper. We're going to carry on because we got another song that goes right with it. So this goes right with They Live. Notice that. Pink Floyd's telling the teachers, leave them kids alone. Then the kids even came in, leave us alone. Leave us alone, punkitos. But then after the kids say it, the authority of the system, of the machine, the school, the system, the machine, the programmers are like, if you want the pudding, kind of like a temptation, you want that sweet pudding, what you want, you better eat our meat. You got to eat our system. You got to eat what we give you. You got to eat our education. You ain't leaving it alone. If you want the pudding out of life, you got to have the system. Think about it. Come strong, bring it like trying to forearm shepherd. Hey, you laddie behind the bike stand trying to get out of here. If you want the pudding, you better come to eat the meat. You better stand still. You better not get on that bike. Very threatening. Listen to what Pink Floyd's telling you. This ain't no shallow shit stuff. They're telling you about a system that we just read about and They Live. and the other stories that we had in some of these movies, telling you how corrupt the system is, what they're into, how it's a machine, how it's a simulation, and it doesn't care about the people. It doesn't. Now we got another song. This song really hit me as I'm breaking this down. Hotel California, Glorified. I loved it. The riff's great. The rhythm of it's good. Storyline seems to be good. It flows. It grabs you in. It brings you in. The Hotel California. Ooh, Kalidas in the air. But really, when we get to it in 2000, even as we look at it, 26, was this the outcome of what the Hotel California really is when we look at the state of California and the mess it is? Because it's mess, and I'm being very kind of what it really is. Let's look. We're gonna break this down. I've been just noticing. I go, this song is what you think. This song is not what you think it is. Not at all. This song is not. So it's gonna. I want the lyrics only. It's trying to give me what to think, and that's okay on some of it, because some of it's true. I'm going to go deeper than this, though. I'm going to have to go out of breakdown, because it's wanting to break it down. I'm not asking you to break shit down. I only want the lyrics. I want to break it down on this one. Some of those lyrics can be true. I'm not denying it. Let's go here, because this is only giving me a little bit of the lyrics there. So we seen how deep Another Brick in the Wall was. It aligned with They Live and a lot of stuff we brought here. What I noticed since recently on stuff, is the stories, even the lens of songs that go back as far as this song goes. Because this song is in my youth. In my teen youth, maybe even before my preteen youth. When was this made? It's not telling me when it was made on this part. Right. On a dark desert highway, notice this, a dark desert, darkness and desert lacks water, right? Highway, a cool wind in my hair, the warm smell of colitas rising through the air. Colitas is marijuana. I'm not here to demonize it or nothing. It's the part of the lyrics. Rising up through the air, up ahead in the distance I saw shimmering light. My head grew heavy and my sight grew dim. I had to stop for the night. Here's the key. Here's the spell that it's now bringing you under. What I'm seeing. You're in a desert place. You're driving in the cool of the night. You smoked a little weed, but you see a shimmering light. As you see the shimmering light, it's drawing you in. My head grew heavy and my sight grew dim. My head grew heavy. I can't hold the crown. My sight grew dim. I had to stop and go under the spell because I need to rest. I need to sleep. It's drawing me into a fantasy land or a program or even a spell. There stood in the doorway, I heard a mission bell. And I was thinking to myself, this place could be heaven, a higher state, or this could be hell. Then she lit up a candle, and she showed me the way. There were voices down the corridor, and a thought I heard them say. So there's an experience through the spell. And this is California. This is called the Hotel California. So be honest. The state moi lives in. I live in. Lit up a candle, showed me the way. Showed me the way. What way? There's voices down the corridor. There's voices being here. There's voices. There's something that's drawing you in. There's voices being... There's an aspect of something here that has made you sleepy, but yet then there's a feminine aspect that came in and lit up a candle, and she's showing you down these corridors, and there's a thought of... I heard them say, "Welcome to the Hotel California." And I'm going to call this what California is: a state of being, a state that we now see is one of the most aesthetic states, if not the most, up there with even Hawaii, of the Union. But the worst ran state in the Union, top 2 or 3, along with most other blue states, especially when you look at taxes, states, policies that don't have any common sense. I'm just going to call it putts of putts and a putts of putts. I live here. Welcome to the Hotel California. Such a lovely place. Such a lovely place. Such a lovely face. Plenty of room at the Hotel California. Any time of year you can find it here. So you can come in anytime you want. His mind is Tiffany twisted. She got a Mercedes Benz. She got a lot of pretty, pretty boys that she calls friends. How they dance in the courtyard. Sweet summer sweat. Some dance to remember. See, there's an aspect here when you're looking at this. There's a Tiffany twisted, which is definitely connected to, let's look this up. There's something about this Tiffany twisted I want to look up. There's something to this, because there's a twisted. I'm thinking a Tiffany twisted meaning is a woman with a warp of obsession, desire for extreme luxury, wealth, and that's what I thought. I thought it was extreme materialism when she came in. Notice her mind is twisted. Is it the same woman that lit the candle, that's taking you down a corridor of many voices, taking you out of your natural state because you're under the spell? You came out of the darkness of a road that was in a desert place. A desert lacks what? Desert lacks water, which is true feminine aspect. And there was a head got heavy, the sight grew dim. You're not seeing and you're not thinking straight now. You're going under a spell. And in the spell, she has a lot of pretty boys she calls friends, right? They dance to remember. So some of us are dancing to remember what we forgot. Some are dancing to forget. This actually goes into gnosis right here. And whatever the sway is in the program is trying to tell you it's connected to the California. I believe this totally. So I called up the captain. Please bring me my wine. He said there hasn't been a spirit. I haven't had that spirit here since 1969. This is talking about a precise time, and I forget when the song was made. It's 73, 74 at earliest, maybe as late as 75, I'm going to say, but between that era. And the key thing is the 1969. And still, those voices are calling from far away. So the voices of this experience, we have the spirit. We haven't, we haven't had that spirit since 1969. Those voices are calling from far away. They're trapped. It's a trap. Voices are being trapped in the Hotel California. Wake up in the middle of the night just to hear them say. Waking up to hear the voices chant. Remember, there was corridors that he walked through, and those voices were in the corridors. But the recognition of what they were saying and what they were saying, he didn't specify in the early parts of the lyrics of the song. But they're telling, welcome to the Hotel California. Such a lovely place, right? Such a lovely place. Such a lovely face. They're living it up at the Hotel California. What a nice surprise. What a surprise. Bring your alibis. Now, alibis is something to protect you against if there was some crime committed and you needed to be a witness or they needed to check you out. You needed an alibi to prove you were not part of this, right? Bring your alibis. Where are you going? What state of consciousness is this? What downward trodden state is this talking about? That this is sending. Remember, this is a dream too. The heavy head and dim lights and the woman with the light putting you under a spell. Mirrors in the ceiling, a mirrored holographic reality, the pink champagne and ice, and she said, we're all prisoners here of our own device. We are all prisoners where? At this hotel. I'm going to call it what I think it is. I think it even connects with the state that we live in. Of this time, not 1974, 73, whatever year this is. Because watch of the... So we said, of our own device. We're prisoners here of our own device. We came here and we became prisoners because of our own will that we got taken here. But he calls it of our own device. And in the master's chambers, they gather for the feast. They stab it with their steely knives, but guess what they can't kill is the beast mindset. The master's chamber, under the delusion. This has very much some Gnostic stuff in the song. I've kind of known for a few months this song is what not I thought it was. That it was more diabolical. Actually, this song is very diabolical. It's telling you the truth, but this is not like Pink Floyd's song telling you the truth so you, like, wake up to these punks. This is more like you got enabled and you were under a spell and you were taken to this certain hotel, the Hotel California. Remember, and there was a dance going on. There was a movement going on to forget and also to remember. To forget and what? Also to remember. Verse 6, the last thing I remember, I was running for the door. I had to find the passage back to the place I was before. Meaning, I got to get out of this motherfucker. I don't cuss much, but I'm saying it now. This place is a trap. This place is not what I thought it was. I'm under a spell. This place is not what you think it is. This place is terrifying. It's terror, and it's bullshit. This is like freaking Gnosticism right here. I'm going to look that up. I'm just going to put that in. I never thought of that. So it does have, this is the aspect it does, says, not continually the song, it's about hedonism, riches, being stuck, right? That's what it says eventually, about this greed and superficial of the 1970s California music industry. However, the themes being trapped in a false reality align with several Gnostic ideas. The Gnostic interpretation, the material trap. The Gnostics then focus on the material world. And then he goes on, we haven't had that spirit since 1969. This line is interpreted as some as reference to the loss of true spiritual spirit, gnosis, replaced by subsequent rise of materialistic darkness. I knew it, but I'm even going to take it farther in this part. The last thing I remember, I was running for the door. I'm looking for the way out. Right, to the passage to get out of here. I'm looking to get out of this place. I'm looking for my gnosis to get me out of this trap. Relax, said the night man. We're all programmed. Programmed. What do we talk about these last few videos? About inversion. Right? We talked about the inversion. And the false reality that inversion would bring forth out of it. What would it do? The illusion. We're programmed to receive. We're programmed in this place to receive. You can go ahead and check out. It doesn't say go ahead. You can check out, but you can never leave. Meaning you're stuck here. This is a trap. This would be the Gnostic aspect of it. Told you. This song is not what you think it is. Now, I'm going to correlate it. Is this what we're seeing in California now? Because people are leaving left and right. This is the most left state in the union since COVID, and most people are leaving because it's political. It's political manure. It is raunchy. The state is raunchy. It is. I'm a born native here. Lived here almost all my life. This state, it was pushed over the edge by this so-called leader we have now. He wasn't the one completely, because this has been years in the work. This has been decades in the work. This has been decades in the work, because this is how they do things. But it's also telling you the thing with Hollywood, right? The thing with the children. Disney. Disney's not honorable. Walt Disney's no hero. That I did videos. We've talked about what he really is, and his proclaim of anybody with any power is sold out to the system. They are part of the system. They're part of what the Archon's Demiurge, what it says. So that part, last part is there. Before that, I was talking about hedonism and materialism. It all started with the materialism and being put under a deep sleep because you're driving down a dark road in the but there's a cool breeze. There's colitis in the air, marijuana, right? And you get sleepy, your head gets heavy, and your eyes are dim. You're not seeing, and you're under the spell of the Hotel California. Told you. This song has been in me for weeks, if not a month. That I knew that I was going to do it because I said the more and more I look at these words, this song is not what you think it is. I mean, this musically is put together well. Why wouldn't it be? But when you look at it, what is the story it's telling you? Is the Hotel California really just California? Is the Hotel California when we look at that? People are checking out, and the state's trying to tax them with an exit tax. You'll never leave. You still trying to leave this place, but we're still trying to grab you and bring you back. I even have this thought, if they're purposely, there's another thing coming with the state, and they want most of the people to leave, that it would be a place to come visit, but not a place to live, because some of the stuff makes 0 sense. But we live in a world. In the Philip K. Dick reality of craziness, this don't surprise me. You guys have a great day. That's my 2 takes on both these songs. Pink Floyd, shout out to trying to bring out some truth out of it, what the system was of education, and then what is really California. These words show you a lot of cults, a trap, a trap, materialism, what's everything going on with the wood over there, which we know a bunch of occult. It's the elite's religion, the wood. Oh, I watch them because I decode them, because they do tell us the truth more than your nightly news bore propaganda shows. Why anybody watches this? If you're watching the nightly news, you're still in that state because there's no truth there at all. You guys have a great day.